All right, so I have my setup here for the color explosion. I have a tin that I'm going to be pouring my milk into. I have a small amount of dish detergent. I'm going to be using a cotton swab instead of a toothpick. I have red and blue colors, and I'm going to start with the skim milk. So I'm going to be pouring 1/2 cup of skim milk into my measuring cup, and then transferring it into my tin. Again, this is the skim milk. I'm gonna do 3 drops total, so I'm gonna do 2 red, I'll do 4. 2 drops of red, 2 drops of blue. The food dye is really just like staying in place. It doesn't spread out very much. All right. I'm gonna take one of my cotton swabs, dip it into my dish detergent, and then I'm going to place it straight down in the center of the tin. So there's definitely some movement occurring. It was really fast at first, and now it's gotten to be pretty slow. There is still movement though, as you can see in the center, that red kind of reappeared. There's starting to be some faster movement now. This is going a lot longer than I thought, and this is skim milk. This is going for a really long time. I'm really shocked. There's even some bubbles forming around the edge, which is kind of interesting. I'm gonna let it keep going until the color stops moving, which at this rate looks like it's gonna be a little while. The speed of the colors moving is definitely starting to slow down. It's been about over 3 minutes now. It's still moving. All right, the movement is definitely slowed. I'm gonna end it here, and oh, that was kind of interesting when I removed that. Okay, I'm gonna pause, reset, and then come back with the next milk. All right, I'm back now. I have whole milk. So this again is the whole milk. Same amount, 1/2 cup going into my tin. I'm going to do the same amount of colors. I'm going to do 2 red and 2 blue. I did put them towards the center, but I didn't put them in one pile because I kind of wanted to see how they move from there. I have a new Q-tip. Again, dunk it in that dish soap. And going straight down in the center. The movement's definitely faster in this one. It seems more consistent, the pace. This one looks really pretty too. Definitely a quicker initial reaction, and the reaction's continuing at that same pretty rapid pace. Unlike the first one, that was quick at first, then pretty much nothing, and then quick again. I do see on this side there's some bubbles forming as well. I'm just going to let this go until the reaction starts to slow down. This one's still moving quite quickly. If I wiggle the Q-tip a little, I think there's new dish soap that gets introduced. So it kind of speeds up the reaction for a second. This one's been moving at a really consistent speed, which is interesting. Alright, so the reaction still is going at the same pace, but I'm going to end this one just so I can do the last one. So I'm going to pull the Q-tip out. That's our final look at the whole milk again. I'm going to pause and set up the last one. Alright, for the final experiment, I'm going to be using 1/2 cup of 1/2 and 1/2. And going through the same process. 2 blue, 2 red. Still not a lot of movement with the food coloring after initially dropping them in. That's been pretty consistent among all 3 trials. Get my cotton swab. Alright, and again right into the middle. This one had a pretty quick initial reaction, and the pace is a little slower from the initial touch, but it's still pretty quick. This is interesting because it's like moving out almost like a flower. This one's still going pretty steady, I have to say. It might be hard to tell on camera, but the reaction is still moving pretty quickly. Alright, the reaction has kept moving at the same pace, so I'm going to pause it here. Alright, and again, that's the last trial with the half and half creamer as our milk.